Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prize Picks video. In this one, we're talking about the NBA for Monday, March 4th. And in this video, we have 5 picks for you guys, so stay tuned throughout the video to hear all 5 of the picks. For you guys over here in the private Discord, a ton of big wins from those members of the private Discord. You can see over the weekend when we don't make videos, we post picks from 8+ cappers over in Discord. F250 hit a massive slip here with Demons, $23 to win 742. Blame the Flame, one of our cappers, hitting some nice picks. Cinco, one of our newest members, hitting some big slips over here as well. Line Worker hitting a nice 6-pick slip here and another 5 for 6. Plus Rod Gar from the private Discord hitting a ton of slips, so a ton of massive hits over the weekend. In the private Discord, you're going to get access to 8+ cappers giving out their picks, plus our daily projections in the morning. So definitely get over, check out the private Discord. It'll be linked down below. See how all these guys are getting these hits. And I'm just one capper. We have a bunch of other cappers in there giving out picks on the daily. So definitely check it out. For this one, though, one of our favorite picks is going to be Paul George. A really low line here of 19.5 for PG. We're going to go over on the points of 19.5. And to check this one out, we're going to come over to Outlier, which is a great tool I use every single day for prize picks and player props. They do have a 7-day free trial if you want to use the link down below to take advantage of that. We could see him on the points this season. This is a line that he's hit 63% of the time so far this season. As of late, you could see not as many hits, but we did have a good amount of games here where he was coming back from an injury and was playing lower minutes. So you can see these lower minute games here. He played 27 or less minutes for a while he's coming back from injury. So those are really the games where he wasn't hitting this one. Also, recently they've had some tough matchups. Last game against Minnesota was a tough one. And then they got blown out here by OKC by 22 points. And another game against Minnesota. This one, he gets Milwaukee, who's actually a bottom half defense. You can see points allowed. They rank 18th, allowing over 117 points per game. So I do think this is a good matchup. And over on Outlier, you can see games also where he's played a certain amount of minutes, which is pretty cool. So I think in this game, if we look down at his minutes chart, he's played games with 37 and 36 in his last 4. So I think he's going to be good to go on this back-to-back. For about his average, he averages 33.8 minutes. If we give him 33 minutes over here, you can see he's hit this 72% of the time this year. So he still hits this one at a high clip, and I think he's going to be playing a lot in this back-to-back. I think he's fully back here. So we can also see games with Harden. You may think this dips a ton with James Harden now, but not exactly the case. Dips just by 2% on his hit rate. A cool thing is you could show games that he's played this year with Harden and without. So he's actually played 49 games now with Harden. And then we can also come up to last season. He hit this in 70% of games. So a number of Paul George hits a lot. Going to go for him for the first pick. Then we're going to go to Cam Johnson over on his points of 15.5. He's been absolutely balling as the Nets have given him a larger role as of late, especially with Cameron Thomas out. So we definitely like Cam Johnson with Cam Thomas out. So right now it looks like Cam Thomas is out of this game again. Then he gets Memphis, a great matchup here against basically a team full of backups. We definitely are going to like Cameron Johnson in this game. We just got to hope that they can keep this one close, because we come over here and look at the line here. It's an 8.5 point spread actually in this Brooklyn and Memphis game. So that is one thing to look out for, is blowouts. But even in a blowout recently, Cam Johnson did have a solid game. So we can see on the points, only a line he's hit 38% of the year. But like I said, as of late, he's really been hitting this one. We could see his last 3 games. He played 29 and then 30 and 30 minutes. He only averages 28 on the season, so his minutes are trending up. And even in this blow against Atlanta, where they won by 27, he scored 29 points. He had 23 last game, so he's been on a crazy streak here without Cam Thomas. We can look at games over here that he's played without him. You can see he's hit this in 7 of 12 games without Cam Thomas. And then also I do think he's going to be in line for 30 minutes again in this game, so we can bump him up to playing at least 26 minutes in this game. And then in 7 of 10 games this year without Cam Thomas, he's hit this in 70% of them. So liking Cam Johnson to keep this role going, and I think he's in a great spot here against Memphis. So the third pick we're going to go to is going to be from OddsJam. If you guys don't know OddsJam, they take sites like Prizepicks and Parlay Play, Underdog, Flip, all those kind of sites that are player prop focused, and compare them to other sports books. So the top pick of the day is going to be John Collins at 9.5 boards on the over. FanDuel has this one at 10.5, minus 160 on Caesars. Bet Online also has this at 10.5. So this is going to be one of the best value picks on the slate here compared to what all these other sports books have it at. This is an outlier on Prizepicks at this line. So if you want to check them out, you get a 7-day free trial with the link down below, plus 25% off after that if you want to continue. So definitely check out OddsJam, another great tool. Let's come over here and lock in the over for John Collins here on the boards of 9.5. And then let's also come over to Outlier to see why they like this pick so much, because this isn't one that he's hit consistently this year. He's only hit it 40% of the time, but as of late, we could look at the last 10 games. He's hit this 60% of the time. His last 20, he's hit it 50% of the time. Really, his last 16, he's hit it in 10 of his last 16 here. And then we can also look at his minutes have been trending up. You can see he's basically played 29 or more minutes in his last 10. Before that, was playing a lot of games. He even had hit some under 20 here, so we can give him more minutes. If he plays just 28 minutes, he's hit this 60% of the time. Also, we could come over and we could see that Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen are out, so I do expect John Collins to play really big minutes in this game because he is kind of like a starting center, backup power forward kind of. So without Walker Kessler, he's hit this 5 of 9 times this year, and he's played over 33 minutes per game when Kessler is out as well. So he really gets a big minutes bump and hits this one over half the time. So that's why all the other sports books have it at a higher line than we do on Prizepicks, but OddsJam lets us find those easily and get some good value. So then our next pick we're going to go to is DeMar DeRozan. We're going to take DeRozan over on the PRA here at 31.5 against the Sacramento Kings. DeRozan, if I ever come over here and see that he's only hit this line like close to half the time, I know that he's going to hit it a lot once we filter out one thing in particular, because you can see in the early season he wasn't hitting it at all. Games without Zach LaVine, though, he gets a massive bump. You can see without LaVine, he's hit this 71% of the time. This absolutely has been on a hot streak. Just didn't hit it in the last game when Chicago only scored 97 points, but basically before that, he hit it in like 9 of 10 or 10 of 11 games, whatever that is. And just a really good one for DeMar DeRozan here against the Kings in a fast-paced, pace-up spot. The Kings are like 6-point favorites in this game, and you can see they allow the 22nd most points in the league. Against power forwards, 29th in points and 29th in assists, and DeRozan really is the power forward on this team starting lineup. So we're going to DeRozan there. The next one we're going to go to is Denny Advia. We're going to go to Denny just on the straight points here of 13.5 against Utah. Fast-paced, pace-up spot here. Should be a high-scoring, close game. Utah are the favorites by like 6 points, but they don't have Lauri Markkanen, so I think it's kind of a high spread here. I think it should be high-scoring, close. Advia has been playing so much better since the All-Star break. Definitely liking him in this one. We can come look at Denny, and we could see over on the points. He's only hit this 46% of the time this year, but you can see as of late, he's definitely been hitting it a lot. In his last 20 games, he's hit this in 12 of them, 60%. In his last 10, he's hit them in 8 of 10. In his last 7, he's hit it in 6 of 7 games. But obviously, when the Wizards get blown out like they do a lot, he plays 26 minutes here, 27 there. That was a 20-point loss, and that was a 25-point loss. So in closer games, he's playing 33-plus minutes. So I think we could definitely give him at least 30 minutes in this game. And if we give him just 28 minutes, he's hit this 63% of the time. If we give him 30, he's hit it 75% of the time. If we give him 33 minutes, which I think is pretty generous because he's played that in basically every game. It's not a blowout in the last like 10 games. He said this 92% of the time, 11 of 12 games, and I really project him for 33 minutes. So definitely going to be going to Advia here on the points. Liking that pick. Tons of hits in the private Discord. You can see a private Discord member here hit a $23 play to win 742 yesterday. Over the weekend, our cappers are posting picks. I'm just one capper in here. We have 8 other cappers giving out picks. Cinco, a new member, hitting slips. Lineworker hitting a big 6-pick slip. Rodgar, one of the new private Discord members, hitting 4 slips today. So tons of hits over in the Discord. Check it out. You get access to 5+ cappers plus the projections. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you over in the Discord or in another video.